55 years making history in the Galician countryside. The history of Coren is an authentic success story for Galicia and its rural communities. 55 years of dedication and hard work that have positioned us at the forefront of our sector. Back in the early days, nobody could have imagined just how far we would come. Yet together, we have achieved a series of landmark successes in Galicia. The origins of what Coren is today date back to the mid-1950s, when the Americans promoted market-scale poultry farming. In Spain, they contacted the managers of Uteco, the provincial farming cooperatives. In 1959, Eulogio Gómez Franqueira, a schoolmaster in Castrelo de Miño, was appointed manager of the Orense Uteco cooperative, and the Americans presented a plan for the creation of 20 farms with 5,000 chicks. In the early 1960s, Galicia was characterised by the extreme poverty of its rural areas and immigration. Yet Eulogio Gómez Franqueira firmly believed in the possibility of earning a decent living in the countryside, embarking on the project to set up farms with 5,000 chicks. 1962 saw the creation of the first cooperative, formed by 20 members and followed an agreement with US firm Swift, which supplied day-old chicks and feed. Yet just 3 years later, Uteco's members decided to go their own way and embark on a solo venture. This required their own infrastructure, resulting in the founding of a poultry slaughterhouse in Santa Cruz de Arrabaldo and a feed mill in O21, although the cooperative continued to receive day-old chicks from the American-owned hatchery in Sarria, Lugo. The venture was a great success and was followed by a series of new farms and industries. In 1970, the cooperative completed the chick life cycle with the construction of its first hatchery in Taboadela. It also set up an egg production cooperative that in turn launched an egg sorting plant in 1975. As part of its strategy to extend its animal feed production scope, in 1978, the company opened its first feed mill on the San Cibrao das Viñas industrial estate. The cooperative also entered the pork meat market and in 1979 acquired the Industrias Frigoríficas del Lauro, Frigo Lauro plant in Porriño. Eulogio Gómez Franqueira remained at the helm of the cooperative until 1984, although his successor was already waiting in the wings, as his son, Manuel Gómez Franqueira Álvarez, took over as CEO. From an early age, Manuel Gómez Franqueira had accompanied his father to the meetings of what was then Uteco. Almost immediately after graduating as an engineer, he set up his own rabbit farm and slaughterhouse and cold storage facilities, as well as a fruit and vegetable production plant, which would eventually become the largest operations of their kind in Spain. At Coren, Manuel Gómez Franqueira worked his way up, obtaining an in-depth insight into each area of the company, including poultry production, sales, industry coordination, industry management and vice presidency, until his appointment as Coren's CEO at the 1986 AGM. Manuel Gómez Franqueira's first challenge was to adapt the cooperative to the new scenario following Spain's recent entry into the European Economic Community, which required a change of mindset and new projects.
The future requires the joint efforts and commitment of us all.
These were difficult years. Coren was Spain's biggest egg producer, but on joining the common market, the sector ceased to be competitive. Problems such as salmonellosis and bird flu appeared, whilst average egg consumption slumped from 400 to just 150 per person a year. Furthermore, many of the farms set up during Coren's early years faced the lack of a younger generation willing to take over the reins. a change of direction was badly needed. In response to these challenges, the first groups were formed, such as the one in Aponte with 50 members, and a total of 400,000 laying hens. A further initiative was the creation of the Galician Farmers and Livestock Breeders Cooperative, which would extend throughout the autonomous region. The mid-1980s also saw the creation of a second feed mill on the industrial estate, and the first roast chicken shops, which would eventually evolve into Coren Grill, the group's ready meal chain. In the 1990s, the cooperative's move towards a more market-orientated strategy and the diversification of its business operations secured the group's consolidation. Aponte was joined by Aladeira, Apiuca, Ashironda, Vilela, Moreiras, Gulfar, Covelas and Alta Pedra, allowing for a production scale without precedent in other European countries. This was a strategic move in securing Coren's future, focusing on the products demanded by the market and enabling it to compete in the EU environment. This period saw the consolidation of a structure based on a cooperative of cooperatives, together with the emergence of a network of industries capable of providing the full range of services required by the group at each phase of the production process. During this time, Coren also expanded rapidly throughout Galicia with the creation of new cooperatives, such as the veal production plant and the purchase of the former Frixa factory in Lugo, today known as Nova Frixa, and site of the beef processing centre and ham drying facilities. In addition, the Frigo Louro pork processing centre was extended to a total of 80,000 square metres and equipped with state-of-the-art technologies in order to cope with demand from both the domestic and international markets, mainly in Asia. Accumulated investment in this plant stands at over €150 million. In 1997, the one-day chick hatchery technology centre was set up. It was officially opened by the then president of the Galician Autonomous Government, Manuel Fraga, and a year later would receive a visit from Prince Felipe, today King Felipe VI. The arrival of the 21st century brought with it new product ranges that would set Coren apart from its competitors. Examples include the production of free-range eggs, a sector in which the cooperative continues to lead the field today, as well as organic eggs and the introduction of new products such as turkey. As part of its expansion strategy in the feed sector, Coren acquired the Bretonia feed facility and built a further animal feed mill in Bonche, Lugo, featuring cutting-edge technology and a global benchmark for livestock feed. Thanks to the processing of more than 40 raw materials, Manuel Fraga again presided over this opening, which took place in 2003. In 2004, the challenges of globalization led Coren to embark on its most ambitious project to date, the construction of the poultry processing centre in Santa Cruz de Arrabaldo. This complex, which was opened in 2006 by Their Majesties King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia, has played a key role in positioning Coren at the forefront of poultry distribution. Covering some 150,000 square metres, with an accumulated investment to date of more than €250 million, this plant is a model for food safety and technology in the European Union, amply responding to market requirements and the demands of each customer, thanks to a portfolio of more than 1,700 products. It was also during the early years of the 21st century that Coren embarked on its ambitious internationalisation strategy, following the cooperative's earlier tentative steps in this direction in the 1990s, when it targeted the Portuguese and Romanian markets. many other countries would follow, including the UK, France, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, Japan and Korea. Today, consumers from more than 50 countries around the world enjoy Coren products. The Coren Group has made traceability and innovation its hallmarks, creating an R&D team made up of more than 60 professionals.
The company's competitive advantage is its ongoing innovation, staying one step ahead of your competitors through innovation.
As a result of this commitment to R&D, 2012 saw the launch of Selecta, a range of chestnut-fed pork products on one of the company's most successful lines. In 2013, Coren opened its ham drying facilities in Lugo, a state-of-the-art site with a capacity for 700,000 units. Moreover, in 2015, Leiro was the site chosen for the presentation of its sales strategy for the growth of the Selecta range over the coming years. Christmas 2013 marked another milestone achievement in Coren's history. Its arrival in the Vatican with the presentation of the Ayarith Convent Poulard before Pope Francis. In recent years, Coren has continued to enjoy sustained and steady growth, with the construction of modern facilities such as the Genetic Selection Centre in Celanova or its renewable energy plant, as well as the acquisition of the Dumbria feed mill. Coren Grill has also launched its new gourmet store model, giving a further boost to the chain's growth and development. Today, Coren is a leader in the production of chicken, free-range chicken, organic chicken, turkey, free-range eggs, Galician veal, pork meat, ham, and canned products, without forgetting its special Christmas range. Coren currently accounts for more than 50% of Galicia's livestock production. The group's initial 3 industries have grown into a total of 22 dotted throughout the autonomous region. We are Spain's largest meat cooperative and one of the biggest in Europe, with an annual turnover in recent years of more than €1 billion. We produce top quality food products that comply fully with animal welfare, environmental and food safety regulations. Our achievements have earned us numerous awards and accolades. Yet, none of this would have been possible without the sense of union that is one of Coren's defining features. Right from the early days, we have formed a truly great family. Coren's 6,000 members and employees all share a common objective: to provide consumers with first-class quality foods, whilst maintaining our production and industrialisation in Galicia. Indeed, we never lose sight of our original essence and spirit, based on a philosophy of creating employment and wealth in our land.
A glimpse back confirms everything we have achieved, the wealth we have generated for Galicia's rural communities, whilst a look ahead to the future reveals a host of new and exciting projects that await us.
Coren is a joint project shared by all, and one with an extremely bright future. The challenge we face is to continue working on a daily basis, remaining united and proud of everything we are, as well as channeling all our efforts into the road that lies ahead.
A big thank you to all the cooperative members and employees that have contributed to our success over all these years. Manuel Gómez Franqueira.